Right guys, hello and welcome back to another episode of Muv Luv Alternative. Last episode... What happened last time? Oh, we talked to Tsukiyomi about the Maya situation, got some alternative Japanese government lore. And we also met up with Sumika. Now we're looking for Yuko with Sumika. Again, it's still the night before the bid mission, so... do want to talk to Yuko one last time, man, if possible. Huh, she's not here. So much for that. I wonder where she went. Maybe she's in the command center making preparations for the bid operation. I mean, I doubt she's already left for Niigata, right? Oh, I should have asked her about her schedule as after the briefing. Yeah, I think she might be in the command center. Wait, you know what she's up to? Oh yeah, her powers. I guess you can like locate people through that, right? Alright, she can pinpoint Sensei's location just like she did with me. So where is she right now? Near the beta hive? Damn, even lower than this? Pretty sure my security pass won't get us that far. Well, shoot. It would be nice. Yeah, kinda. I've got a lot of questions to ask her. Can you? What? Does she have an even higher security clearance than me? I guess that would explain how she got into the hangar. I don't know how we can train with you since we're not doing some battle testing, right? I mean, maybe in the simulator they can simulate the Susano, and then we can try to like protect it from beta or whatever. That could actually be useful training. I don't know if the simulators are made for that though. Otherwise, they probably would have did that before the mission, right? Well, I don't know if they'll let us train together. More importantly, do you even have a pass for that? Look how normal Sumika's acting. It's kind of crazy. Slow down. Answer my question first. Do you have a security pass? Yes or no? Oh, come on. Look, I'll show you my... Maybe because of her cybernetic body, she has like a pass in her? That'd be interesting. Oh, right, she can read my mind, which is great for the sake of expediency. Don't get me wrong. But man, it still throws me off every time. Yeah, do you have one or not? Seriously? With the clown noise sound effect? This is a waste of time. Oh god, don't tell me she's having delusions again. It's kind of rude. Okay, then how do you suggest we get down there? Oh, for crying out loud, this is the alternative program's main research facility. There's more top secret intel here than anywhere in the world. They're not just gonna let us waltz right in. Let's see it. Look, I don't have time for this. I need to get ready for deployment. I'm just trying to go down the list of extension numbers for lower levels and hope she picks up. Bub. Let Sumika cook. Let's see what she's talking about, man. Hey, Sumika, what do you think you're doing? Trust in the Sumika. Yo! Wait, we got there. B27. We've seen that blonde chick before, but not the... I don't know if that's a girl or a guy, but the ponytail person. Sensei! Lockweed Mardian. Hima Arf 004. Maybe an engineer? How's that engineer fit on? There we go. Not even a named character, okay.
頼んだわよ。敬礼はいいって言ってんのに、これだから新入りは。
You got a new recruit on tuning the Susano? It's kind of crazy. Sorry to bother you. I know you're swamped right now.
まったくだわ。だいたいなんであんたがここにいるの？
Sumita brought me here. She pinpointed where you were and somehow got us past all the security gates. What'd she do? Does she have like some sort of hacking power? If it's just like men guarding, then maybe she has like a more advanced form of the brain reading and she can like almost use hypnosis or something? I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
そんな分かりきったこと聞いてるんじゃないわ。
Oh.
私が聞いてるのは、あんたがここに来た理由。
What? You don't want to chat? Huh? I don't get it. Even if she had a high-level security pass, she wouldn't have been able to bring me along with her. But she managed to get us both of us through by just waving her hand in front of the scanner. How can she act like it's not a big deal? Well, obviously Yuto knows she has that power. That's why she's acting like that. Whatever it is. So it's not mind control. It is something with technology. I just had some questions I wanted to ask you before our deployment.
分かったわ。こっちも時間がないから、手短に済ませてちょうだい。
Wow, that was easier than expected.
あんたの場合、教えない方が時間かかって厄介だし、作戦前にモチベーション下がられても困るしね。
That would be unfortunate. Hey, I can accomplish my mission regardless of morale. I mean, not that I blame her, given how immature I've acted in the past, but she could at least have a little faith in me. Should we give her props or something? Whoa, sorry, I wasn't trying to. It's her favorite thing. Huh? Where the hell did that come from? Ooh, are we gonna train with our whole squad? A whole bunch of people. Oh, she must be talking about Operation 21st, right? I just assume it needs to be deployed for her training right away. True, we're kind of a popular guy. Yeah, okay. Was this the person when we did our squad battle? When they split us in teams? I remember like older Suzume was on one team and there was someone else commanding us. I just assumed it was this girl, but I forgot the name. I forgot the name they gave us. Nice design. Again, very angular hair. She kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. Like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. A little bit. Less colorful hair, I guess. Yep, see you in a bit. Nah, if anything, you were the one running the two of us raided. I mean, compared to what you are in this universe, it's definitely easier. Never mind. Anyway, I'm guessing you've got something important to tell me, given that you felt the need to get rid of Sumita like that. I mean, that was kind of obvious, but yeah. Seriously though, why bother? Sumita can just read your thoughts, can't she? She can... I don't think... Is it passive? I don't think it's passive, so... She's probably not. She probably wasn't doing it, right? I thought that Sumita and Kagami aren't constantly reading everyone's minds, but she'd still find out what we talked about the next time she reads your mind, wouldn't she? Well, can you just counter that by not thinking about it? Maybe.
何もしなければその通りね。
Or she has oh, okay, she has some tact already. Wait, so you prevented her from reading her mind somehow?
まあね。たった今、私が訓練だってごまかしたのに、あの子はそれを見抜けなかったでしょ。
The operation, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. You were just forcing yourself not to think about the truth or what. That's what I was thinking, but I think this is more technological or something from the way she's been explaining it.
あのね、
I mean, she hasn't explained anything, but you know what I mean.
思考内容がダイレクトに伝わるわけじゃないわ。
Okay, yeah, we knew that.
それを意訳して伝えるのが人工 ESP 発現体や00ユニットの役目なのよ。リーディング対象の嘘が見抜けない程度だったら、ベータの情報収集なんて無理じゃないかしらね。
Sure. Okay, maybe I was a little naive too then. Oh, okay, so what did you do?
あの子がしているリボン、
Oh my
あれがフィー
god.
ダーの役目をするのよ。
The ribbon tech. You telling me the giant ribbon just wasn't some drip? Wait, you mean the huge yellow one she's always worn?
あの生地の繊維にバフホワイト素子とマイクロチップが織り込まれている。
Buff white. I thought that said butt white. Buff white particles? What are those?
一つの大きさが
Are these real?
ミクロンの思考波通信素子よ。
I won't doodle it. I know someone's like, oh, don't doodle. I honestly thought G-bombs might have been like a real thing. Because sometimes the science is kind of real. But luckily we didn't see anything important. Just that they're bombs.
それが逆位相の思考波を
They're like
発生してい
newts
て、特定
2.0.
の思考波を打ち消してしまうのよ。
They can recognize... Okay. And does it happen... I'm assuming it's not automatic. Maybe, we'll see.
オルタネイティブ計画の主要メンバー全員分の思考波パターンが一緒に織り込まれたマイクロチップに登録されているわ。
Yeah, so it's certain thought waves. Wait, but then how did she tell you were down here?
存在を認識するのと思考をリーディングするのは別の能力だからよ。
Sure. Okay. They are. I mean, technically they are, I guess.
例えば、漂ってきた匂いで食べ物の味を思い出すのと、食べている時に味を感じるのは違うでしょ。
Sure. Wow, they're that distinct, huh? I always assumed it was all just a part of the mind reading process. I did too, kind of. But doesn't matter, I guess. Well, I suppose if we're trying to keep her mentally stable, then it's probably best to keep her from seeing too much of other people's thoughts. Especially considering how scared that made Kagami of other people.
彼女の精神的な安定もそうだけど、この手の処置にはもっと深刻な理由があるの。
Is it to keep her from obtaining too much sensitive intel?
まあ、そうね。ほぼ正解。
I guess that would be a problem if she just knew like all of the UN secrets and somehow someone kidnapped her and like took the info, or she just blurted it out to other people. Then what is it?
人類の切り札として生み出された00ユニットがベータ以上に恐ろしい敵になってしまう可能性があるからよ。
That would be crazy. We wipe out the beta from the world, then Kagami's like, this is my Earth now. What? You're worried that she'll go rogue? Come on, that's crazy, Doc. It really isn't, though. Like, she does have Sumita's brain, but it's all jumbled up. Yeah, I can definitely see it going rogue. It's kind of like AI, right? The fear of, like, artificial intelligence taking over. It's like, Sumita, like, once she gets more independent, maybe she'll disagree with the way the world is, or at least the UN or certain governments or something.
あの子はあんたをどうやってここまで連れてきた？本来ならセキュリティに引っかかるはずね。
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. She just waved her hand over the terminals, and that was that. Even she said she doesn't know why it works.
理由は簡単。ゲートの端末から基地のメインコンピューターに
That's what I thought.
セキュリティコードを書き換えた
That it was some sort of hacking thing, but how can she just hack? How can she just hack into something without, like, inserting anything in or anything? Wait, what? Seeming to hack the system all by herself? That is kind of scary. But she never knew the first thing about computers. Hell, she could barely even hold a game controller the right way around. Even if she was slightly more tech savvy in this world, I can't imagine she was able to hack into the military databases. Well, the thing is, you just said it yourself, that she didn't know how she did it, right? So it's obviously not a fact of her being very, like, uh, tech savvy, I guess. But she's a total space cadet when it comes to computers. How is that even possible? Yeah, I thought that's pretty obvious. Is it something to do with her quantum brain? And she does have like a machine body, so maybe there is something she can do with that. Huh? How? It is a brain. But how does having the quantum brain equal to like hacking a database? Okay, fair enough. I guess I can see how that would be possible, but how could she do it without even touching the panel? There we go. With the ones in her ribbon? So it's like the particles interfere. So it's like hacking over Wi-Fi or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really tech savvy either, so. But I kind of get what they're saying. It's like how microwaves disrupt Bluetooth. Like microwaves radiation disrupts Bluetooth. Kind of like that. I see, so that's how she does it. This is something I wanted to know. Like, I think I asked this in the Susano episode. Why do you need the 0-0 unit to pilot it instead of just like a really skilled pilot like our captain, for example? I knew it. Yeah. Okay. She's the computer? I mean, it made sense given the insane processing power of her quantum conductive brain, but still. Plugging into it, so she doesn't... So she can basically... I'm guessing she can just control it with her mind instead of actually, like, physically piloting it. Maybe. How does that work? Yeah, exactly what I said. So that's naturally why normal pilots just can't pilot it, because you're not really piloting it. You mean there's no foot pedals or anything? That's pretty dope. What? Direct thought control? Uh-huh. Got it. Yeah. So even, I mean, that's, then just think of it like wireless. It's exactly like that. Like a wireless mouse compared to a plugged-in mouse that's 100% input. Or like, well, usually it moves it's at 100% when you move it. No sure. Makes sense. They just, yeah, it's incredible technology, but there's always a higher plane, right?
だけど00ユニットは操縦操作という作業によることなく、いいえ、あたかも人間が体を動かすように操縦に関わるすべてを制御できる。
That is kind of cracked. Wait, so then what you're saying is
彼女は自分の耳や目を使うようにスサノオ2型のセンサー類を駆使するわ。そして心臓や肺を動かすように内臓からホルモンを分泌させるようにムアコックでして器官を制御するのよ。
so basically it's another metabolic process.
そうよ。素晴らしいです。
That is crazy. You're not wrong. Then that means the Susano is gonna be something like a second skin for Sumita.
00ユニットはあらゆる面において人間に最も近いコンピューター。それがスサノオ2型と一つになることで完全な自律制御兵器が完成するのよ。
So Sumita is not just gonna be piloting the weapon, she is the weapon. So that's like the correlation of, I mean, I said that, like, oh, when Sumita says she has the power to destroy the beta, it's her having the TSF, but it is really just her being, that she actually just has the power to destroy the beta. Because the Susano is basically her body when she's in it.
だからセキュリティ突破をどうやったかなんて本人が説明できない。
Because it's just natural for her. That's just crazy. That is a little... I understand why there's safeguards in place. I do wonder if Yuto has like a self-destruct system in her. That like... And she programmed it so Sumita can't detect it. And she hasn't told anyone, so no one can... So she can just not get the information for it. I feel like she probably does have some sort of safeguard in case she does go rogue. Other than just the ribbon, because that's more of a preventive measure. While like a real safeguard, if she actually goes rogue, would be a way to disable her or just destroy her.
あんたが自分の心臓をどうやって動かしているか説明できないようにね。
Yeah, it's natural. Okay.
なぜ00ユニットがベータ以上の敵になる可能性があるのか。
The question is, is that okay? Is it technically a greater threat than the beta? I guess they can both technically destroy the world, and even if the Susano is stronger than, it can single-handedly destroy hives. I don't know if I would say it's a greater threat to mankind than the beta still. Because again, there's, from what I understand, there's just more beta in space, right? They're just like this intergalactic threat. Sumita's kind of limited to the planet Earth. Though I guess if they have all the, like, the structure of Alternative 5 ready, she, maybe technically she can, like, just finish building it, and then she can become an intergalactic threat. But it's still not, like, as dangerous as the beta, in my opinion. In my opinion. That might be wrong. But I get what they're saying. And then it's like the AI thing. Like, if AI goes rogue, I feel like technically they can probably disable most of our, like, weapons and stuff, right? Well, obviously they can't stop guns, but, like, you know, guided missiles and stuff, because I assume they can probably hack into most mainframes and stuff. I'm not really, I mean, I have played around with AI, mainly just for image generation and video generation stuff, but I imagine, like, there's a real threat of that. That would be funny, though, like, all those stories about rogue AI and stuff, and it actually happens in the world, would be cracked. Who knows, it's developing pretty rapidly. We might see it in our generation. Though, I'm not too worried, to be honest, but, yeah. Wait, what? It's a good point to push, but again, I feel like most people would take the risk of having a weapon that could save the world and destroy the beta, and possibly, like, destroy the world versus just letting the beta have the world. I feel like it's fine. It's a better risk ratio. Like, the other one's technically safer, but you are just giving up on Earth, which is, and most of humanity. An inhuman threat can dig into people's minds and perceive both their thoughts and emotions. She can hack into computers and do whatever she wants with their contents, not to mention control a fearsome weapon like the Susano as if it were an extension of her own body. Or maybe Yuka Sensei could have put a bomb in the Susano, I guess. That's another way to effectively deal with her. Because even if she does go rogue, without the Susano, she would still be a threat, but it would be more manageable. Because you can just, like, kill her with guns, right? Like, obviously you can't really do much with TSFs if she can hack into those, but can't really just stop a normal-ass gun, right? Unless those are also connected to, like, a mainframe. I doubt it, though. There's no point of that, right? In the worst case scenario, she could easily take control of all our computer-based weaponry and systems and use them to do her bidding. Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying, with like AI and stuff. Yeah, I can definitely see how she'd be a serious threat if she turned on us. And I get that people are more afraid of inhuman threats in this world after having to deal with the beta for decades on end. But Sumita's never going to do that, I'm absolutely positive. Don't jinx it, bro. She's a human being. Even if she has an artificial body, she still has a human soul. He's a soul believer, huh? Well, you ever hear that argument people made? It's based on like this really old study where they claim the soul exists because they like weighed somebody before death, like right before they died, and like right after they died, they weighed them again, and they were like a different weight. They were less heavy, and they're saying that the weight the person lost right after they died was their soul leaving their body. I think I saw an anime movie also based on that too. It's interesting, but I'm not saying souls don't exist. But yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, funny theory. I mean, just look at how Kasumi was treated during Alternative 3. Before she came, everyone acted like she was a leper. The line between human and inhuman is totally arbitrary. That's not really an argument. I think we talked about this, like, Ship of Theseus thing. For Sumita, anyways. They're just reacting reflexively to something they don't understand, kind of like how I got upset after finding out Sumita had been the one in the brain tube. Besides, if we're talking about weapons that are too powerful for us to control, aren't G-bombs and nukes just as risky? No. They're still, don't get me wrong, they're still dangerous, but at least they don't have sentience. Like AI and Sumita, technically. So they're technically not as risky to like turn against us, but they can definitely be world-ending. Yep, that's my argument. I think that's pretty basic, man. Yeah, but there are powerful people out there who are actively trying to get those bombs dropped. How is that threat any different from the risk of 0-0 unit going rogue? Well, that's a different argument, but we're just saying that them by themselves are, like the fact that G-bombs exist are not as dangerous as Sumita, but yeah, this argument I would agree with, I guess. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and that's the counter, yeah. That is dangerous, and so is Sumita. We can say that they're both dangerous. Are you kidding me? No, that's solid. Actually, you know, I don't always agree with Yuko, but we're currently in this episode, our thinking has been very in line with each other. You're right, I shouldn't be. We can't even figure out how to trust each other in the face of annihilation. God forbid we trust something made by our own kind. I agree, that's just human nature, and it's a real worry. There's no reason not, like, you can still, obviously Yuko believes her weapon's gonna, like, save the world, but there's no reason not to at least be wary and have safeguards, right? It's not like there's anything negative that's gonna happen. Unless the whole bomb thing was real, and Sumita finds out about that and that makes her go rogue, that just could be a negative, but I think it's fine. Taku, you just have to lock in and be Sumika's keeper and make sure she's mentally stable. You got this, man. You've been doing a great job so far. Damn it, I shouldn't have let that slip out. I swear not to let myself get pissed off about stuff like this anymore. That... Dude, I'm saying... Yuto's saying what I'm saying literally right after I say it. It's crazy. It's the rare me and Yuto being instinct. Usually it's sometimes like me and Tataru. But this is nice. Huh? Look at that. Locked in. Yep. We're a good person. Though I'm sure there are people who probably would treat both Yashiro. I mean, Sumito's a little different, but Yashiro, I mean, she's still human. Is she? I mean, she's a clone, right? Or she's... whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say, like... I guess if you were put in this position, like, it's easy to say, like, oh, I wouldn't treat them differently, but I'm sure there would just be doubt. It's natural to have doubts about stuff, but obviously for Sumito, since we're from another dimension and she was our love interest, it's different for Tataru.
人間だった加賀美澄香に向けたものと同じ思いを持って心から00ユニットに接することができる。
Yeah, I mean, we know she did all these calculations, so it was kind of rude of her to call us a pawn. We're a much more valuable piece than a pawn, right? Sumito's the queen, Yuto considers herself the king. We're like at least a rook, man. We're super important to like the survival of humanity at this point. Not even talking about the OS upgrades.
その結果、00ユニットが加賀美澄香の人間性や理性を復元して、あんたと心が通い合えばそれでいい。00ユニットという兵器が人類に対して牙を向かないようにするには、それが一番だから。私はそれを利用するだけよ。
I know. But couldn't I have theoretically coaxed Sumika into turning on Sensei? I feel like that's a pretty big oversight on her part. Yeah, let's use Sumika to become king of Earth. That would be crazy. The villain arc. The villain route, I should say. Or maybe she's convinced that I'd never betray the entire human race, even if I were to betray her. She knows that's why I'm fighting the beta. Like, yeah. Tataru has no reason to do that since we just want to save the world and go home, right? Well, the whole Susano thing was my big question. I don't know what else he wants to ask her. Yeah, exactly. Well, you already answered most of them, but this conversation did raise a few more red flags for me. Let's hear it. Well, I kind of get the impression that you only developed the 00 unit as an excuse to use the Susano. It's part of it. I don't know if it's an excuse to use it. I feel like that's the wrong word. It's not really an excuse. It's just part of the plan. Like, say they're one and the same for Operation Save the World. Or that, yeah. It's not the main goal.
XG70 はオルタネイティブ計画内部ではウェポンシステム 110A って呼ばれていてね。あくまで00ユニットの機能拡張構想の一つに過ぎないわ。私たちが XG70
Also, doesn't matter, right? The whole scheme of things, whether her motivation, whatever her motivations are, if it works. I don't know. It sure didn't sound that way when you were talking about it earlier. Yeah, but she didn't even... Oh, actually, I don't know what he's referencing earlier. Let's do this conversation. I was thinking he was talking about when she briefed the team. No, but it was extremely low, right? Less than 10% if I recall correctly. There you go.
戦術機なんかで送り出せない理由としては十分だと思う。
That's true. That is true. I guess, yeah. Also, if you're thinking about the big picture, right? Like, even if you clear the world, there's still the threat of the beta in the universe. What if they, like, realize, oh, our Earth's force has been destroyed, so now we have to send more people or more beta to the Earth. So it would be good to, like, get all, like, mind read them and get all their data and strategy to prepare for the second wave. I don't even, like, that's kind of a big scale. I don't know how far we're into the game, and obviously it's spoilers, and someone said that in the comments, so obviously I'm not gonna look it up or anything, but I don't, that seems like such a big scale. I don't even know if we can really tackle that. But there's nothing after, I mean, there's side stories after this, but I think, I'm not sure, because I didn't look into them either, but I think they're based on the past, right? But maybe I'll cover, like, well, actually, I don't know. That's a lot, right? Covering this a giant invasion after clearing out all the hives. That's a lot of story left. If that's true. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, she's right. Obviously, having the Susano, an almost nigh destructible Giga TSF will definitely well, we need the survival rate to be 100% or we just lose, so it's pretty close to 100%. It's like, it's just dependent on the rest of our squad to protect her when the defenses are down, so.
00ユニットも背部に近づかなければリーディングはできない。だとすれば、一番生還の可能性が高い。
Oh, it makes perfect sense. If the Susano truly is all it's trapped out to be, then yeah, she'll be in the safest place on the battlefield, but that begs the question. Is the Susano really as powerful as you were saying? From what we heard, it's basically like indestructible with a fucking god laser. Like it's a big boy with like just a small, well, it's not really a small window. It's kind of like it was a couple minutes recharging time, right? But I assume it's as powerful. Why would she lie? And that's also one of the reasons why she's scared of or people are scared of her turning on the world with the Susano. Actually, I'm interested now that you brought this up. Like, what if you G-bomb the Susano? Would it, like, survive? If it had its shields up? Not, I mean, I guess that would be a good countermeasure against it turning. That would go crazy. Oh man. Imagine the late game though. The late game, if Yuko, after this is successful, if Yuko can develop more 0-0 units with more Susanos, then Earth would be like pretty protected unless the beta like evolves or find countermeasures to it, but that would be cracked. Though I guess developing more 0-0 units would be more chances of them taking over. Because if one 0-0 unit wasn't scary enough, multiple might actually raise the risk of them rebelling, right? So it's a double-edged sword. That's actually possible. Holy shit. Don't know what that means, but stronger laser, or whatever it is, beam. Well, I've seen positron cannons like video games and stuff, but what the heck is a quantum cannon? I don't even know what positron cannons are, so don't ask me. Sure, yeah. Classic America. It's like the one time I stayed at an American B&B when I went to Ohio. Like, I remember when we went there and like we got out their plates are just huge, man, compared to Canadian plates. Like literally everything's bigger. So I guess they eat bigger portions usually, right? But their plates are huge compared to like Canada plates, which was just kind of funny.
こんな夢みたいな兵器、ここまで作っておいて開発放棄するなんて信じられないでしょ。
It is kind of crazy. I thought you said it was due to the invention of G-bombs.
確かにそう。だけど、計画のキャンセルにはまだいくつか理由があるのよ。
Well, for I'm guessing one of them is like, again, it's super hard to pilot, right? That's why we have the 0-0 unit who can effortlessly pilot it. But I'm guessing it's like a real challenge to like manually pilot it. So why didn't you mention any of those earlier? If it's not some major defects, don't you think we should be aware of them since we're gonna be the ones guarding it? I don't think it's that, but we'll see.
ダメよ。こっちは XD70 が人類の希望だとか救世主だって言い方してるの。
Okay, so Tataru is right. But yeah, I guess. But I don't know, we're the guard. You don't have to tell the public that, but as the guards, don't you think like the guard squad should know about its defects? I think Tataru actually has a point.
00ユニットによって克服された欠陥をわざわざ上げて不安にさせるのは利口じゃないわね。
Okay. Wait, so I was right. I was right first. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, I guess the cancellation did happen 2 decades ago, huh? Yeah, there wasn't even like a theory about the 00 unit at that point, right? Computers weren't very advanced back then, which is kind of crazy. They created the Susano when computers weren't that advanced, right? Oh man, imagine in modern world where warfare eventually becomes like mech battles. I feel like it's not really like leading to that since we already have nukes and stuff. So like, what's the point? Like, even if they have mechs, just nuke the mechs, you know? But still, that would go crazy. Not that we want to see that, of course. Computers weren't very advanced back then, so they didn't have access to the same kind of materials, so it made sense that we were able to buff out those kinks with modern technology.
それにその話をしたら XG70 に詳しい人間なら00ユニットが人間ではないことを簡単に見破れるしね。
So they don't... I kind of assumed the rest of the squad mates assumed there was a pilot in them. But I guess from the presentation they were playing it off as there is no pilot, which is interesting. I didn't even get that, but I guess it's just because we have the knowledge that Sumika is the pilot, so of course we wouldn't think that. Okay, it's pretty clear, since he has no intention of divulging anything about Sumika just yet, not even to the rest of A01. And that's why we didn't train with her. Sure. Which made sense. Her lifelike appearance is a huge asset in keeping the 00 unit safe from prying eyes, so there's no way she'd risk compromising that. Sure, I agree. I mean, there's a definite risk that people might be able to build off the clue to uncover the full story behind the 00 unit, and the fact that she's been conducting human experimentation, which would be that would be a huge news thing. Especially in modern world, if they found out that the UN was experimenting on humans for stuff like this. But you gotta think that in this timeline that there would still be a stir, but people wouldn't. Surely they wouldn't care that much considering the whole beta threat, right? So what kinds of defects were there anyway? I'm all for the American disses right now, just considering the state of the world. Well, this is released later, but still. I'm not a hater, alright? I'm not a hater, but come on. Okay, like.
XG70 シリーズは有人兵器として計画されながら結局人間が登場で
That's
き
what
な
I
い
was
仕様
saying.
になってしまった。
It was just too hard to pilot manually. Yeah, that does sound pretty dumb. Was it because of the anti-gravity stuff?
厳密に言えば反重力と重力制御は別物なの。ムアコックレヒテ機関によってもたらされるのは重力制御よ。
You don't need to get too technical with me, since it doesn't really matter, but... Oh, huh, and here I thought they were basically the same thing.
初歩的な重力制御技術とはいえ、XT70 の軌道は理論上在来兵器では考えられないものになるはずだった。
Imagine that giant beast of a thing just zooming like a normal TSF would be so scary. If you just see that on the battlefield. Doing all the Takaru movements. Double jumping and shit.
ラザフォードフィールドを展開して操縦者を急激な慣性の変化から隔離する方式を採用したんだけど、
So they were aware something might go wrong.
結局人間の生理機能を 100% トレースする制御技術が最後まで確立できなかったってわけ。
Analyze the body structure.
結構その辺を楽観視してた節があるわ。ラザフォードフィールドで包んでさえいれば 60% ぐらいで十分だろうってね。確かに実験動物を使ったテスト飛行や通常軌道までは人間が乗っても全く問題なかった。だけどその次の段階、実戦を想定した高機動時の過電粒子砲運用を想定したテストで事件は起きた。乗り込んだ12名のテストパイロット全員が
Jesus.
にぶちまけたシチューみたいな。
That's rough. And I think now when they did the Susano explanation, it does have to it does have to stand and be motionless when it fires its cannon, if I remember correctly. It needed 12 people to pilot it back then, and all 12 of them died. It's a big machine, bro. Lots of compartments. I imagined it would be... Well, I said, why not give it to the captain, so I didn't say it, but I imagined it would be multiple people, right? That's usually how they do it for, like, giant mechs in literature anyways, right?
過電粒子砲を発射する際に機体底部と後方に発生する複数のラザフォードフィールド。
So this happened during the recharge period when the Susano's at its weakest.
その多重干渉の影響をキャンセルすることが当時搭載されていたコンピューターの演算能力では不可能だったのよ。その後の追試験で通常軌道であっても 100% 安全ではないという事実まで判明してしまったのよ。
In other words, no human would be able to pilot it. That's why it would give away Sumika's identity. Yeah, hiding Sumika is more for the sake, but I'm trying to say more for the sake of like other governments, because I don't think the general public would be able to deduce this shit. But the other governments know about Alternative 4 already, right? But maybe they don't know like what it is exactly. Or do they even know? They should know. I don't know.
その通り。
The existence of the 00 unit might be confidential, but anyone who knows why the XG70 was cancelled would instantly realize that she can't possibly be human. But I guess I'm sure there are like some nerds, like non-government. I said nerds, but it's not demeaning. But like non-government people who are like super into that, and eventually they can deduce this, and then it would cause a stir in the general public. I can see that happening, I guess.
で、仕方なく無人化して自動制御で運用することになったんだけど、状況変化への対応が画一的でアメリカ軍の要求仕様を満たすことができなかった。それに当時のオートパイロット技術では過電粒子砲の実戦出力を確保できるほどの機関制御が不可能だったの。とどめにムアコクレヒテ機関の原理を応用した G 弾が開発されたことで
Which was just easier to use.
計画は息の根を止められたってわけ。
Yeah, I mean it's like what I just said, like there's no reason for mechs to be created in the real world when you have newts. Unless we get an intergalactic threat, then obviously that would change things. Because you can't nuke space, I think. I don't actually know. But now that we have Sumika, those defects are no longer a problem.
そうね。だけどそれ以外にもまだ絶対に克服できない根本的な問題が残ってる。
Wait, seriously? There's even more? Are you sure it's safe to use this thing?
量子電動脳にグレイ9が必要なのと同様、
Grey 11?
グレイ11という物質が必要なの。
And these are all the material you get specifically from hives, right? Huh? Grey 11? Sensei, was Gray 11 discovered by the same American scientist Dr. Gray? I assume so.
そうウィリ
Dude,
アム
was
グ
it?
レイが発見した11番目の人類未発見元素よ。もちろんその由来はベータ。
Dude, that guy's down to know in the science history books, man. That's assuming that he discovered at least 11 new elements. That's crazy. So then, if the Moorcott-Latched drive paved the way for the G-bomb, then the G in G-bomb stands for Gray. Honestly, I didn't remember that. Mainly because I didn't remember, like, the Gray 9 and 11, like, the actual names for the materials. But that made sense.
XG70 の G も同じ。
Look at this Gray guy.
グレイ11を使ってるからね。
I'm assuming he's dead by now, but my die is popped off. In the history books as one of the greatest scientists, probably. You know, when they start making history books after they save the world. So that's what it was.
G 弾の正式名称は Fifth Dimensional Effect Bomb。 5次元効果爆弾よ。
It's a cool name. Fifth dimensional.
そう5次元。つまり重力のこと。 誰が
Is gravity the fifth
G
dimension?
弾っていう俗称はある意味気の利いた
Okay.
になってるのよ。
I'm doodling, but it's not pertaining to Muv Luv. I just want to know, like, what is the fifth dimension? This is just science, right? The fifth dimension is a hypothetical extra dimension of space that physics and mathematicians believe may exist. It's a micro dimension that interacts on a higher plane. Relation to gravity and electromagnetism. The fifth dimension may help explain the relationship between gravity and electromagnetism, which seem unrelated in four-dimensional space. Is gravity the fifth dimension? In some theoretical physics models, particularly within string theory, that's what what's that guy's name? Sheldon from Big Bang research, right? Why do I know that? Because I binged the Big Bang Theory like a year ago. Okay, it was kind of lit, all right. And Kaluza-Klein theory. The concept of a fifth dimension is often linked to the idea that gravity could be a manifestation of forces operating in this additional dimension, meaning that gravity is not directly the fifth dimension, but could be explained by its existence. Look at us, learning stuff. I love to learn new things in visual novels about real world, but it seems that this is just a theory. But obviously in the Muv Luv universe, it's real, or it's proven. Right, because it comes from both gravity and Gray. Yeah, that is nifty.
無アコックレヒテ機関の構造を簡易化して反応を制御せずに暴走させる構造にしたものが G だ。アメリカは XG70 開発計画で貴重なグレイ11を消費し続けるより残り全部
That made sense. It is a limited resource, right? And you'd rather have something way easier to use, even though it might not be as effective as like a perfectly like constructed and buffed out Susano, right? Because technically, obviously, the Susano would be better since you're not destroying the world with it, but you know, ease of access, limited resources. I can see why they chose G-bombs, and obviously limited technology at the time.
それはなぜかグレイ11の生成が当時も今も技術的に不可能だからよ。
And we mine that shit. And we have limited resources because we only have access to a couple hives.
アメリカが入手したグレイ11の総量
2 tons.
それを使い切って
That's a lot.
つまりグレイ11が必要であること自体が絶対に克服できる
How much Gray 11 do we have?
致命的な問題点ってわけ。
Okay, that's probably my whole thing about making multiple 0-0 units and multiple Susanos. That could be a a big problem. But I'm guessing like after we clear out more beta hives from the world, we'll have more access to Dre 11, right? So kind of like fixes its problem. But I guess it's always limited, right? Like what if the beta attacked him but they don't establish hives? I don't know. I don't even know if they can do that, but and they find out, oh, let's just like attack in waves and make them use all the Grey 11, and then we can properly take over the world again.
どうしても欲しいならハイブを占領するしかない。しかもほぼ無傷で。
So beta made that stuff on Earth?
ランドサットのデータによると、フェーズ5以上の成熟した
Phase 5 hives. I think this... Oh, fuck, I forgot what Sato Dashima's phase was. I don't think it was 5. I think it was 3 or 4. But I could be wrong. Yeah, it definitely makes a lot more sense to bank on a bomb that uses existing technology than it does to waste a precious time and resources on a weapon that'll run out of fuel sooner or later. Especially if getting our hands on more of that fuel requires capturing a Phase 5 hive or higher without destroying it. Which is a lot less than 2 tons. Whoa, that's a lot less than what the Americans got. Yep. Oh yeah, it's because they G-bombed the Yokohama place, right? So that would destroy most of the upper hive at least. Or the spire thing. What do you mean? Oh, it was only 2? Oh. Okay. That also made sense. Again, it doesn't matter, but it's nice to make sense of things. And how long do you think those 400 kilograms will last us? So it would be good if we protect it more in our mission. It's kind of a problem though, if you want to destroy multiple hives, especially if Sato Dashima is not a level 5 hive or a phase 5 hive, then that is kind of a problem. Yeah. Right, so we're gonna have to... And the Susano destroys hives, right? Oh, jeez. So we are gonna have to actually manually capture some hives. And the problem is, after Sato Dashima, once we go after other hives in the, like, Europe territories, or Asia territories, or whatever it is, they're, like, very close together. So, like, if you take one over, you're gonna have to protect it, because it's literally surrounded by other hives, right? So this is a little dicey, for sure. Man, I kind of see why some people think we should just use G-bombs instead. It'd definitely be a lot easier, for sure. But then you're kind of just destroying the world. So taking the harder route to keep the world more intact is probably worth the effort. Yeah. So it sounds like we really need to make sure that we capture Sato Dashima Hive intact so we get our hands on more. Yeah. So maybe it is phase 5, or even if it isn't phase 5, like she said, there might be a Grey 11 just being transferred to it from other hives, which they probably used to like reach phase 5, right? Yeah, they did say that. Like this is just a test run for Sumita to like see if she can read Beta's minds, and actually destroying the hive with the Susano is just like if we can't capture the hive with the forces going in. Yeah, that's interesting. So we probably aren't even gonna go in the hive. Unless Sumita goes crazy and just jumps in the hive, then we have to follow her.
佐渡島はフェーズ4だからね。
Okay, phase 4. I did think that it wasn't phase 5. I remembered it was phase 3 or phase 4. Still better than nothing, right? True?
まあそうだけど、今回の運用試験はハイブのリーディングが最優先よ。
Sure, yeah. I thought you said it was to test the Susano's capabilities. When did she say that? I mean, she said it at the briefing, but that's like third in line, right? Of priorities.
頭の固いのや利得狙いの連中が大勢いるのよ。そういうバカ向けに兵器として派手な活躍を見せておくことも必要なの。
Yeah, just show it off, but try not to destroy the hive, I guess. I see.
それに XG70 開発計画に携わっていた連中にしてみれば G 弾を開発するチャンスでしょ。
Look what we could have made. Huh?
接収した機体の整備や調整をしているのは当時の開発者たちよ。
Okay, we got the OGs here developing it. That's cool. Then that engineer you're talking to was someone who we stole from the Americans? Really? She seemed young, but guess we didn't really get a good look at her.
違うわよ。ちゃんとアメリカから派遣されてきてるのよ。
Wait, but Americans support Alternative 5, don't they? Isn't it a little dangerous to let them down here?
もちろんその手の対策は取っているから大丈夫。それに
Of course she would.
もともと一枚岩じゃないのよ。
True. I'd hope so. Yeah, in all instances. Of all governments, honestly. Not just America. Huh? What? People don't blindly agree and follow their governments? Really? That's crazy. No.
当たり前でしょ。国連にいろいろな勢力があるように。
Yeah.
アメリカにも
Come on, Tatu.
アルタネイティブ4を支持する勢力は
It's just not the majority, but I feel like right, made sense. I feel like that's just common sense. Yeah, no duh. Of course there's trying to be more than one opinion among a given country's population. There we go.
クーデター
He
事件の
got
失
there.
敗で軍や議会のオルタネイティブ5推進派は相当突き上げを食ったらしいわ。
Haha. Right, since the US troops weren't the ones who ultimately saved the shogun, the pro-American provisional government was dissolved in an instant, and they weren't able to regain a foothold in the Far East like they were hoping for.
そこにタイミングよく00ユニッ
Owned.
トが完成したことでアメリカのオルタネイティブ4支持勢力が盛り返しちゃったのよ。
Nice. And I'll bet that was all part of Sensei's plan too. Literally playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. I see you. I'm almost positive this is one of the reasons she said the rebellion would be a good opportunity for us.
で、その連中が政府と議会を説得したってわけ。オルタネイティブ4の成果によってベータが駆逐された場合に被るアメリカの不利益をネタにね。
Gotcha, so that's why they handed over the Susano so willingly.
ロックウィードなんて最初に接収を打診した時からずっと乗り気だったから。
Who's
こっちが決まっ
Lockweed?
てからの動きの早いこと早いこと。
Lockweed? Sorry, what's that?
当時 XG70 開発計画を受注した
Okay.
企業の一つよ。
It's a company. Oh, so it's the name of a company. Yeah.
そこに
Lockweed, huh?
マクダエルドグラムを加えた三者合同プロジェクトとして当時受注したのよ。
Okay.
いずれもアメリカ兵器産業を代表する大企業だったけど。
What's Colt up to? Think they stepped up?
全部経営傾いたわけ。その後、ノースアメリカーナはロクスウェルに、マグダエル・ドグラムはボーニングにそれぞれ吸収されたわ。
Boning? You think those are the guys that made the Boeing airplanes?
ロックウィードだけはマーディン・エラッタ社と合併して未だ健在。アメリカ軍の大型戦術機は確かあそこが。
Oh, they're still popping off. If they're making Raptors and shit. Oh, the Raptors, huh?
で、なんとか生き残ったロックウィード・マーディンが復讐の機会を虎視眈々と伺ってた。
Not only that, I'm sure that it would be very good for their company. They're like, hey, we made that. We're the best weapons people. Stocks would probably go through the roof if they still do the stock market in the world right now. Maybe they don't. Even though they're part of the same country? What? Are you telling me companies in the same country aren't just allied and they don't fight for dominance? Like, come on, Tatu. Again, it's common sense. Of course. I mean, I know that's a shot at the US, but I feel like most countries are like that. Capitalist to the core. Though that's to be fair in this verse. Japan is very more imperial than capitalist, so maybe that is a fair did. They did this corporate warfare. I mean, that would that would go insane if we can develop Grey 11 by ourselves instead of capturing hives. That would actually be crazy. I see. Yeah, I can see why there's some bad blood between these guys. Team Lockweed, baby. Deserved. Deserved. Love to see it. Oh, I was about to make a dumb joke. It's alright. Oh, so they really are putting the company's interests ahead of the country's. Oh, wow. Companies are doing that, huh? Sure. Maybe. Yeah, nice. How is that guy doing? Apparently he's MIA, right? Yeah, I figured he was involved. Sure. Yeah, I think I get the gist. Gotta keep our investors happy after all. Yeah, I mean, there are resources, man, basically. Treat the investors like resources. Keep them happy, get more resources, save the world with them. Yeah, of course. Right. Any information. Information is power, after all. Yeah, because knowing where their defenses are thinnest will also make it easier to get a hold of more Grey 11, right? Yeah, obviously. Yeah, come to think of it, finding out their means of communication was one of the main reasons alternative program was established, huh? Since they're kind of like insect like with the hives, maybe it's some sort of like brainwave thing. It could be messengers, but they're pretty high. I mean, from Sato to Shima at least, it's pretty far, right? It's probably a bit more advanced than just having messengers run back and forth. Maybe it's like some brainwave shit. But what if, and this is just a hypothetical, of course, but what if when Sumita does her reading, the beta respond to her peacefully? We're just reading. Let's like take over some hives, show we're standing on business, and if they want to actually negotiate with Sumita, then obviously that would be better, right? Than just because again, you gotta think of the aftermath when the beta gets wiped out and the main beta forces are like, what the heck? Why is this planet popping off? It would be better to peacefully resolve things, right? Then what makes you think she'll discover anything beyond what we learned in Alternative 3? Intuition. I trust her intuition. Because she's so smart. How so? She's not Kadu. I mean, I was about to say she's not Kagumi. She's not Yashiro. She's way more advanced. It's way different, right? Yeah, I guess that's true.
だから今はまだ彼らに00ユニットの能力を知られるわけにはいかないわ。バッフワイト阻止のような対策を取られたら
They can do that? Huh? Wait, are you saying the buff weight particles are made from beta materials too?
なかなか鋭いわね。
Okay,
そんな便利な
interesting.
ものが世の中に出回らないのはその原材料が希少物質だからよ。
Yep, knew it. After all, if we had the technology to transmit thought waves to and fro, we'd already be using them in our fortified suits. Great point. Dang, it's like all our best weapons are for fighting against the beta are made from their own materials. I mean, that made sense, right? Like, imagine an alien invasion happens and we're able to, like, salvage some of their technology and use it against them. Like, if they're high tech, well, I know the beta aren't high tech, but obviously, like, it's just better, right?
毒を持って毒を制すってやつでしょ。なりふりなんて
Obviously.
構ってられないのよ。
It's not like it's a problem either. Yeah, that's for sure.
でも変な話だと思わない？
What do you mean?
ベータはグレー9やグレー11、負の質量を持つグレー6なんて物質まで生成できるのよ。
Don't even know what that means. Negative mass, how the hell does that work? How does something have negative weight?
そんなものを作り出せるのに兵器には応用してないでしょ。
Well, I think I can explain that. Alright, put my scientist cap on. Because they don't really use technology. Again, they're more like an insect alien species. So, like, they're using Grey 11 to, like, build bases. They don't even, like, have the concept of building, like, machines, right? They're, like, all biomaterial, and they just use this material to build bases. So, like, why would they... So, probably they didn't even think about it, and since they've just been capturing planets, they just don't need to use them for that anyways, right? That's at least my headcanon right now. You're right, that's a little strange. It's like the same reasons why they don't have TSFs or whatever. It's just not needed, or they just don't comprehend them as something they need. Or whatever.
着陸ユニットが地球に来た時、地表近くで重力制動を行った形跡があるから、全く利用していないわけじゃない。
Yeah, just utilizing it differently. It's like giving like a material to like two different species with two different or like let's just say giving materials to two different ancient societies, and depending on their architecture and technology though, they can use it completely different, right? It's one ancient civilization might use it to make like bows and arrows and mainly use it for weapons, while one other might like figure out how to use it more for like architecture stuff. Maybe they're trying to take over the Earth without damaging it too much, or maybe they just don't think we're a big enough threat to warrant it. Those are pretty valid questions. I guess we might learn eventually if Sumita can properly read their thoughts. This is all just speculation. It's definitely possible that the beta have weapons of their own hidden somewhere, and if they do, I'd imagine they're probably much more powerful than the Susano. That would go crazy though, if they have like some secret weapons and they just haven't used it against us because there's no need at this point. Which means it's absolutely crucial that we don't let the beta find out what the 00 unit's capable of, no matter what. Keep their guards low, because I'm sure like even if we take over Sato Dashima and we like, they're not gonna like respond like in full force yet, right? They're probably like, oh, we lost a hive, but it's not like really damaging their plans too much yet. Of course, this is all just hypothetical. It's been 30 years since the war began, and they've never once used that kind of weaponry on us. Yep, we're all just speculating here. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if they do have some secret trump card. We still have to find some way to take them out. Yep. Damn it. Not that I assumed we'd be able to make short work of the beta as soon as the 00 unit was complete, but man, we still got a long road ahead of us. In fact, I say we've only just begun. I would love that too, since we're going over time. I just wanted to finish this conversation, and it's been like super interesting. Of course, sorry for keeping you so long, but I do appreciate you answering all my questions. I love a little lore. I know it's like non-consequential lore about like the American manufacturing politics and stuff, but it's always just interesting, right? Just some world building stuff.
あんたにはまだまだや
It's
っても
always a
らわな
little
きゃならない
neat,
から
and
山ほど
we
だ
did get some technical, like actual matters stuff that actually matters, I should say. It would. I feel like if we get killed, that would be seriously bad. We should actually also, like, obviously we value the 0 unit more, but I mean, she can't really order this, but you should probably prioritize Takaru's life too, because that would cause some huge mental damage for Sumika. And who knows, that might start the fucking rebellion. Yeah, I know. You better be careful too, Sensei. Can't have Yuko dying either. Key players in this.
じゃあね
A metric ton, huh?
白金
Sup? Calling us out while posing like that? Look at that, man.
彼女頼んだわよ
Try our best, Capitan. I will. That was fun. Good effie, man. Oh, next episode, it's deployment day. Let's go. Oh, that's so hype. Oh, man, it's gonna go crazy. This chapter's gonna go crazy, man. This is so hype. But we gotta end it here, guys. Thank you for watching, as always. Appreciate all the Muv Luv viewers and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next time as we head into a bid battle. I was trying to say the bid battle, but this isn't the bid battle, technically. This is just the stepping stone to saving Earth, right? So, but this is very important. Everyone gotta focus up. Hopefully no one dies, though I think it's possible that someone or multiple people might perish. I don't mean like, obviously people are gonna die, but I mean actual characters we care about, right? But yeah, let's hope this all goes well. Surely, surely nothing will go wrong. Like what we've seen from Muv Luv, everything always goes well, right? Right? Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.